Hello, it's currently Sunday night. I did not get to post my trade recap. As you can see, there's a trade on the screen. So take a look at that. But I will do a brief explanation. Obviously, I can't go into too much detail like online. But on Friday, I was having a little bit of a moment and I was dealing with personal issues as well as also family issues. Which obviously like everyone goes through, and yeah, it just wasn't a good night. It wasn't a night where I could focus. It wasn't a night where I could be present. It wasn't a night that I could focus on the things that I wanted to focus on. It was a night where I had other things that I needed to focus on that were going on in my personal life, things that were stressing me out, making me feel upset. And I feel like I didn't get a chance to probably focus on the charts. But I mean, there's no excuse. There's always things that we can learn from this. But that is just a very extremely brief explanation or just insight, I guess, into um this night. Obviously, I'm not gonna say my psychology is perfect. It's definitely not. It's 100% not. Like 100% my psychology is not perfect. But that's why I take my trading so slow, because I know that my psychology needs working on, and I'm fully aware of that. And I mean, that's why I trade off with such low size. Why I trade off with such low lot size. That's why I trade only one instrument at this very moment, because I know that I want to take things slow and do things the proper way. And I mean, I want to take every loss as an opportunity to learn things about my psychology, to learn things about my trading and just the strategy that I'm learning, and just learn how the market moves and how I can expect price to move and build that experience and discretion. So yeah, I mean, this is just another example as to why I'm choosing to take this slow process. Um, and obviously I'm a beginner. I've only been live trading for 3 months. And yeah, I'm gonna take losses, and it's actually fine. It's actually okay. But I feel like I get a lot of people saying that I should, up my lot size or trade with higher size, do prop firms, do this, do that. And this is a good example, and it's a good reminder to me and to everyone else that, like, obviously there's going to be losses, and obviously you want the losses to outweigh the you want the wins to outweigh the losses, but there's going to be losses. And it gives you a moment to be like, I don't know what I'm trying to say right now. But anyway, let's get into this trade setup. I executed on the exact thing that I had said in the morning analysis. However, where I went wrong was I didn't add in that discretion that I've been adding in during these market conditions. I have been really good. Like, obviously, everyone learns differently. I'm going to say this to start with. Everyone learns differently. So some people will need to beat themselves up over losses. I'm not the type to need to do that, because I will, like, not beat myself up, but like I'll focus on it so much during the day that I guess like I don't know, like I feel like every single day this month I've been so on point with my strategy. If I slip up on one day and I take a loss, it's not the end of the world. To some people it might feel like the end of the world. I don't see it as the end of the world, and that's why I trade with the amount of size that I trade with, because it's like I'm okay losing it. I don't love losing. I don't love having losses, but I mean, it's definitely not the end of the world. Like, this is not my bills money. This isn't my, you know, like I don't particularly like need this money. This is why I'm trading with the account size that I am. But anyway, I just want to say that I'm not the type of person to beat myself up over a loss, but they are good reminders as to why you stay with your rules. And keep in mind, if I had gone into every single day this month with the mindset of how I traded on Friday, I would have had about a million losses by now. I probably would have blown my $2,000 account, and I'm risk 1%, so it would be a difficult thing to lose. So yeah. Anyway, so Friday morning I had a morning analysis and I had a trade idea for the day. I had my alert set, and I basically just clicked buy as soon as my alert was set. I obviously had a quick look at the charts, but it was just as soon as my alert was set, I was like, you know what? Like whatever, like I'm just gonna buy because this is what I said I would do this morning, and like who cares? Um I didn't, because I had issues going on external to trading and external to my own not existential crisis, but my own little crisis that I was experiencing last week. So I had that crisis going on, and then Friday I had issues that were beyond that. They were almost more important than that small crisis that I was experiencing. So yeah, I mean, I was just like, whatever, like I'm just gonna take a trade. Like I don't even care anymore. But I mean, like that, it was just a very silly mindset to have. And I've been so disciplined with my psychology, and I feel like just because your alert gets hit and you made a plan in the morning doesn't mean you just press buy or sell. You always have to use discretion, because no strategy is a 100% win rate strategy. No strategy is going to work 1,000,000,000% of the time. And as every profitable trader says, I feel like every single profitable trader must say it, unless you're taking like 100 trades a day. I feel like the only time that a trading algorithm or like trading mechanically works is when you take a million trades in a day, and I don't. I intratrade. Intraday trade. So the decisions I make, they definitely matter. But yeah. So I feel like, yeah, I did execute on my plan, but I did not add in that discretion that was needed. Um yeah. I'm gonna keep it so for real. I needed to go pee. So I stopped my recording. But anyway, let's get a little bit in depth on what the technical issues were with this trade. Now, if I had had the patience to properly wait for a candle close, then I definitely wouldn't have taken the trade. However, again, like I feel like sometimes I feel like I needed this trade. I feel like I needed it. Because I've been reflecting on a lot of my trades, and I feel like I take a more conservative approach to ICC. Like trades by Sky will just enter off of the wick, or off of the just the candle opening. He won't really wait for a candle close. I think I might be wrong though in saying that. I just remember him saying that he doesn't wait for a candle close, but I think I saw in another video that he said that he waits for a 15-minute candle close. I feel that's probably been the hardest thing with all of these live streams that he's been doing. They've been amazing. They've been absolutely amazing, and they've been like nothing in comparison to this tiny little this tiny little issue that I'm personally facing. Nothing in comparison. And all it takes is for me to rewatch them, which that filled with so much knowledge. So don't take this the wrong way, but sometimes I feel like in these live stream videos he will say one thing, and then in the next video he'll say something else. And I don't know, I just kind of just like, I use my common sense and I go, okay, he's probably not waiting for a 1 hour candle close, but he might be waiting for a 15-minute. I was supposed to be waiting for a 5-minute candle close, and I didn't. So that's where my error was. But anyway, I'll tell you guys the actual setup that I was looking for, and then we'll go through the psychological errors. So when I opened the charts this morning, it was clean price action. I was actually very happy with this price action, and I do still believe that price is bullish. Does that mean I'm going to double down on the trade? No, but I do believe that price is still going to be pushing bullish. And what I'll do is I'll probably just do what I have been doing in the past, where if I miss a trade, I'm just going to enter later on. Like I'm just going to enter, because the trade is ideally going to continue all the way up. So I'm going to wait for the next indication, because if price is going to continue that way, it's going to continue to buy up. It's going to continue to show bullish indications. So that's just going to be my approach coming into this new week with this specific trade setup. But as again, if you look, very clean price action. This is what I was looking at this morning. So when I saw price continuing to push up, I really should have accounted for the fact that, okay, this is going to be really steep on the 1 hour. This doesn't look like the previous price action. The previous price action would show probably a steeper correction until it continued. But I was like, well, I mean, it's gonna go bullish here on the low time frames, then obviously it's gonna go bullish on the high time frames, like duh. But there was a few other indications as to why that wouldn't be the case. Now I'm gonna press on to the 4 hour, and we're all going to see it together. Yeah, yeah. So I hope we are all taking note of what's wrong here. I will point it out with my arrow. Yes, this candle right here. And I spent time learning candlesticks um last week, and I just ignored this. I saw it. Okay, this is why I was like prefacing it by saying I had a lot going on at the time, because I saw it and I was like, whatever, like the 1 hour is showing me that it's going to go up. Therefore, I mean, it must be the 4 hours just being wrong. But I always have to remember the higher time frames hold more power. So if the 4 hour is not giving us a candle close above that level, what should be more indication as to why the trade will fail. As I've learned a lot of my trading psychology videos, you have to look at not only why the trade is going to work, which I feel like that's the mindset that I was in going in. So this trade, I was looking at, okay, how is this going to work? Um, and how can I get this entry, because this is my original setup for the day. But what I've been doing every other day, and what I should have done on Friday, was I should have gone into the day and been like, okay, why I have this predisclosed plan and this predisclosed idea of a trade that I can take. What is causing me, what is price action saying that opposes the setup that I had that morning? So what is price doing that could potentially be disrespecting the plan that I had already disclosed? And I should have already seen, okay, yes, price pushed above that level. Did it push above it extremely? No. It didn't displace through that level. I wouldn't say it displaced through that level. And we also didn't get a 4 hour candle close when we used the 4 hour and the 1 hour in order to find the higher time frame trend. But if the 4 hour, the higher time frame, is showing that it's not got a candle closure, the buyers don't have enough power to pass straight through this high. It does on the 1 hour, but not on the 4 hour. That should have been indication enough that maybe the correction is not over, and maybe it's not ready to push past on that continuation just at this point in time. But yeah, that I should listen to. I think if I get that in the future, I really want to make sure that I am taking that into account and taking that into consideration. Like, no, no, girl, just because the 1 hour is telling you something doesn't, and the 4 hour, if the 4 hour is telling you something that the 1 hour isn't telling you, then maybe you should listen to that. But I didn't. But anyway, now we're gonna keep going down. We're gonna keep going down. We're gonna keep going down. Yes, we're gonna keep going down, and we're going to look at. I feel like I just got to get rid of these alerts. These were my alerts because I was like, to be fair, the way I sat through that trade, did I need to sit through it for that long? Probably not. I definitely should have exited early. And I know that sounds bad because every single trading thing says don't exit your positions early, yada yada yada. But I entered my position a little bit too early, in my opinion, by the way. These levels right here, I know there's one that's shaded a little bit more. This was just to give the tracer room. This is my original price setup. But then I was like, okay, if we're going to be specific, this is the high. This is the very specific high. And if you zoom in, you can notice how I did it like to a T, if not a little bit lower. Like you can see, like it's like a tiny bit lower. That's, I'm literally just reading that. Makes really no difference to the technicals, but I'm reading into that because that was the mindset that I was going into this trade. I was just like, I'm just gonna find something, and whatever I find is gonna have to work. It's just gonna have to do. And yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I usually like to leave it a little bit of room. Maybe I didn't need this amount of room, but like even just say like this amount of room for price to show me something. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Now, I wanted to wait until obviously New York session kicked in, and this is when New York session kicked in, and we could see that we got a few candle closures. But what I should have really been looking at is this is turning into an area of resistance. Price has pushed up, it's rejected, it's pushed up, it's rejected, and it's just kept doing that. And then it broke this low here. So that's why I have actually two setups here. So I have one here, because that my original level was this level when I was entering off of this price push, and then it saw it made a higher low, and then it pushed up again, and this is where my second stop loss was, and I ended up exiting around about here. But I mean, I really should have just exited at this lower high here. but I was trying to keep in line with the higher time frames. I say that, but just wait. What higher time frame was my stop loss sitting at? You tell me, because I don't even know. No, I do know. It was sitting at nothing. It was sitting on the lower time frames, and I'm just not ready to do that, to be honest. I know that some people do that, but for me personally, and what I've learned, I apologize. I can sense that this video is going to be a long one, but I feel like losses need a little bit more time to show you why I lost. And like, hopefully, if you trade ICC or market structure, you can look at this and be like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do this in the future. Like, let me take note. If there is not a 4 hour candle close, I should probably not get into it because this might happen. But yeah, we live and we learn. But yeah, hopefully having this long video, it's going to help in some way, shape, or form. But anyway, I usually like to. I can move this around now because we've seen it. We registered it and yeah, we know what the problem is here. But ideally, I personally like to have my stop loss sitting here. Now this is negative RR, and there's been so many trades that I've sat out of where they've been negative RR on the high time frame, and I've not gotten into them. So why would I do something different with this trade? I don't know. I was forcing a trade. That's the exact reason why. Let's be honest. But there's been times in the past where I have done negative RR, and where the trades have been negative RR and they have respected the lower time frames. And I guess that's kind of what made me look at this and go, well, whatever. Like last time when I saw this trade, it did respect that area, so therefore it's gonna do it again. No, that's not how it works. But yeah. I mean, there's not really that much that I can say. I'm not gonna lie, I real zoned out for like a good few minutes. But I mean, it is like 11 o'clock. It's 10 past 11, so that should give you a little bit of an idea on why I'm zoned out. But yeah, I mean, things I would do differently. There's a lot of things I would do differently here, like especially just waiting for that lower time frame candle close. And I know it looks like we got one, but it just wasn't a good enough candle close for me, to be honest. And like, I'm usually very picky with my trades. I usually like to see price surpass a level. Like, I like to see price break highs. Like, for example, I would have wanted to see. Well, I think I saw this and I saw that price was breaking structure, and I was like, okay, yeah, we're good. To enter off of that lower high, and like, I mean, the setup overall, it wasn't that bad, because if we look at the actual entry on the lower time frame, I entered in New York session. I entered here. Oh wait, that's that really long one. Hold on. This is the exact trade that I took. And like I said all the time, I always say like, okay, when my trade doesn't work, I'm just in drawdown for ages, or it just goes straight to my stop loss. But when it does work, it will just go straight to my TP. So in this example, we can see it went straight to my stop loss, which is lovely. But basically, I saw the ICC setup on a lower time frame. Actually no, I swear I got in here, but it was New York session because my Forex Factory was saying that it was New York session, but for some reason the indicator is different. I definitely need to investigate that a little bit more because it's really weird. But I think I entered off with this first one because I remember sitting in drawdown and then going back into profit and then going back into drawdown. But this was the setup that I had, but I more entered around about here, I'm gonna be honest. Because, and this is me being like so transparent, and I feel like there's definitely traders out there that have done the same thing as me, but they just haven't said anything. Because sometimes because I obviously execute off of, well, I don't know if you guys know this, but I execute off of MT4. So I do all of my executing off of my phone. So I have my phone in front of me and I'll just press buy or sell. And I just prefer doing it that way because I like having it on my phone so I can just chill, do what I want, check it whenever I want. And it's like, it's not like I have to go take out my laptop or anything. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. But yeah, I just prefer it that way. But what was I saying that for? Oh yeah, so I got into my trade a little bit late, and I also FOMO'd a little bit because if I had seen the specific candle close and I was present on the charts, I would have been like, okay, there's such a high wick on this candle. It's showing that sellers are super strong. I want to see another confirmation candle. That's good psychology, me talking. Obviously, I didn't have a good psychology in here, but when I entered that trade, as soon as I saw the candle close, I was like, I shouldn't have ended this. Like, literally, as soon as I saw that candle close. Because, I mean, that candle just shows that sellers are really strong. So, yeah. And yeah, price was just really choppy on this New York Open, to be honest. There was no news, so I don't really know why it was looking that way, but price action hasn't been good in general, and yeah. Yeah. So anyway, let's just reflect on this trade instead of talking about it for hours. I promise you I've done my thinking on it. Also, I want to disclose this trade has put me in the negatives on a year-to-year basis, or on a year-to-date on my year-to-date analytics. It hurt a little bit, but this is my month analytics. Oh, didn't mean to make that noise, but yeah, these monthly analytics, I'm not too upset about them, to be honest, because I took the trade kind of knowing that, like, even if I do lose the trade, I'm going to be in profit on the month. I did not take into consideration the year, and I probably wouldn't have taken the trade if I had thought that I'd be negative on the year. But then what? Am I just not going to take a trade for the rest of the year so I stay in the positives? No, it's all about learning. So it's okay. But yeah, I mean, these are the stats. We got a 66.67 win rate, 53% P&L. Let's see if we can get this. Hold on. Okay, this is what I was looking for. Let's get it in percentages. So, oh, never mind. I thought it was going to give me the percentage gain on the account. I actually don't care about that. Okay, so yeah, the percentages on the month are not the worst. You know, we had $24 a week, we had $54 a week, and then we had negative 25 a week. This is like an average P&L, and taking into consideration that I only trade one instrument, it's really not the worst. Obviously, when I trade more instruments, which we're going to be, I guess, forward testing Nasdaq this month, which is so exciting. But when I trade more instruments, it'll look a lot better. So, I'm debating whether or not I want to add my stats into here for Nasdaq. I want to like add a paper account onto my TradeZilla. I'm not sure yet. I might, just so I can experience it better. But yeah, that's an idea. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you my year to date because I want to be transparent. As much as it hurts to show you guys this. Yeah, we're a negative $1. But you know what? Look at that profit factor. We're at a profit factor of 1, which basically shows like the amount of money that you made, I guess. I don't know, actually. I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's honestly okay because we'll make it back. Trust, we'll make it back. Nah, but we will eventually be in profit. And I mean, it was a big psychological issue. I feel like because I didn't take the time to use my discretion, which I should have done. And I mean, it was just a lesson that I had to learn the hard way, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. Let's write this down. I'm so excited to trade Nasdaq. I had someone say that I shouldn't be trading these high volume instruments, and I had someone reply and say that I should. So I'm just gonna stick with my plan. I'm gonna stick with Nasdaq. I thought about doing Euro USD because I know that it is smooth price action, but you know, I feel like the more I get to add in these instruments, the easier it will be to kind of learn how to adapt my strategy to different instruments. I've also heard that silver's good. So yeah, those are a few things that I'm thinking about, but I'm just gonna stick to the plan at the moment and just trade Nasdaq and gold, so that I do have that momentum, the volume, and everything needed for my strategy. Anyway, bullish ICC setup, reason for entry. We got the lower time frame, bullish structure. We risked 1% of the account. It was a loss. It was a 1-1 point something, but I'm just gonna leave it as a 1-1. Emotions I was distracted. I wasn't focused. I wasn't caring / locked in. I just didn't really care. Like, when I pressed buy, I was just like, yeah, whatever. When I really should have been like, is this a trade that I really want to take? Is this a trade that I would like take on like an eval, or if I was risking like $1,000, I wouldn't have. So yeah, it is what it is. Did I follow my plan? My morning plan? Yes, but I didn't use discretion, which is essential in my strategy. I hope you guys can hear me, because a few people actually commented on my mic in last video. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, but I hope that the mic is better in this video. I did listen to it on this video up here, so I hope it's okay. Mistakes noticed, didn't, no 1 4-hour candle close, and no 5-minute candle close. Discipline rating, I'm gonna give myself a 3 because it was not good, and I also didn't do my daily routine. Key takeaways: there's always opportunity, so be patient and listen to the high time frame. What I'll do better tomorrow: listen to the high time frame and come into trading with presence and a better mindset. And we've reached the end of this trade recap. We're going to fill this up with a bunch of screenshots. I actually have a what's it called? Hello? Oh my god, I thought they said $50 for a second. I was like, oh, what? But no, I only risk $20, so thank god that's a no. What was I yapping about? I can't remember. I cannot even remember. Unfortunately, I did not get to do too much backtesting on NASDAQ. This week, again, it's been a busy week, but hopefully I'll have some time this week to do some backtesting. Because I would love to do some backtesting on both gold and NASDAQ. I do want to get my win rate to a 80% win rate plus overall on gold. So I definitely want to look at still backtesting gold. I still want to do a backtesting session again. I just haven't had the time to backtest. I really need to time block my time so that I can take the opportunity to backtest. But yeah, that was my trade. I hope you guys enjoyed this trade recap for this losing trade. Please don't come and attack me in the comments, because I am a real human being and I do make real human being beginner mistakes, and I'm okay with making mistakes. I'm okay with losing trades, and I've had like the most, I don't know, I've had strange experiences with content creation and with people just being like strange. So I always get a little bit, not like I'm not scared, but like a little bit like nervous, like talking about losing trades, not because like I'm gonna get judged for, well, I guess because I'm gonna get judged, but it's mainly just because like I understand that losing trades are a part of trading, and I feel like a lot of people are like, they think I don't understand that, and it's like, I'm okay with taking a loss as long as I learned my lesson, and I definitely learned my lesson, to trust the higher time frames always. But yeah, that's really it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys had a better trading week than me. Hopefully you guys had a green week. If you did, go and boast about it in the comments. And I'll just no, it's fine. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great trading week. Hopefully this month for you is a great trading month. Happy November. It's the 2nd of November right now. So yeah, hopefully this month brings better price action. And yeah, I'll see you guys later today. I'm going to try and film a trading diaries video before I go to bed. I also need to film out weekly analysis. Let's see if I can do it all. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will speak to you tomorrow.